What's up, guys? This morning I was reading in Genesis chapter 12. I was kind of stuck on the passage where Abram was going down to Egypt with Sarai, and where he was talking about how when he gets there, what the Egyptians are going to do to him and to Sarai, just based on her being beautiful and him not really knowing what that outcome would be. So I just wanted to read through verses 10 through 14 here quick too. And it says, "Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to dwell there, for the famine was severe in the land. And it came to pass when he was close to entering Egypt," which is a place that he did not know of, a place he'd never been before, "that he said to Sarai his wife, Indeed, I know that you are a woman of beautiful countenance. Therefore, it will happen when the Egyptians see you, that they will say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will let you live. Please say you are my sister, so that it may be well with me for your sake, and I may live because of you." And I like how verse 14 begins, and it says, "So it was." And I was like just meditating on this passage, and I was imagining Abram, literally like 10 verses before this, God gave him the promise of, "Get out of your country, from your family and your father's house, to a land I will show you. I'll make you a great nation. I'll bless you. I'll make your name great." All these different things. "I'll bless those who bless you, curse those who curse you." And 10 verses before this, he had received this promise from God. Obviously, in his life, it wasn't 10 verses before, but, and now he is struck with a famine in the land where he is dwelling at the time, and he goes down to Egypt. And I really like the imagery of Egypt in a lot of places. To me, in the Old Testament, stands out as either a place of slavery, a place of oppression, a place of fear, a place of not knowing, and all these different things to me are what Egypt has represented in reading the Old Testament. And it says, "It came to pass when he was close to entering Egypt, that he turned to Sarai's wife and said, Indeed, I know you're a woman of beautiful countenance." And so I was picturing, like, how did he feel walking towards Egypt? How did he feel walking towards this place that he knew that he had to enter, that he had never been before, that he didn't know about? What kind of emotions was he working through in this, entering a season of unsureness? And I really came to just an understanding of distress. I mean, this guy was stressed out, and he had to have felt some kind of stress and almost hopelessness, to try to take matters into his own hands, less than 10 verses before, or less than 10 verses after receiving this great promise from God. And it just made me think. I was like, man, what kind of things was he going through at this time? And even with the nature of the culture at the time, like how much he could or could not share with his wife. So he may not even necessarily had a kind of outlet, person to person, to share these kind of feelings with, or these experiences with. And when it came to how stressed he felt, but he took the what ifs in verse 12 and 13. Like, he didn't say, "Therefore, what if when the Egyptians see you, what if they say, This is his wife, and what if they kill me, and what if they let you live?" But he says, "It will happen." So he took the what ifs, and he meditated on the bad, the negative what ifs so long. And this is the only conclusion I could come to when I read this, is that he was meditating on the what ifs the whole way going into Egypt. The whole way going into this difficult season of his life, he was meditating on the what ifs. What if they do this? What if they do that? What if they kill me? What if they take her? What if, I lose all of my possessions? What if the promise God gave me is threatened because of my external circumstances? What if these things happen? And to me, it looks like he meditated on the what ifs so long that they became truths to him. They became, "Therefore, it will happen. They will say, they will kill me. They will let you live." And he goes on in verse 13 to say, "Please say you are my sister, so that it may be well with me for your sake, and that I may live because of you." And I don't know if it's just me or if somebody else knows, but you get selfish when you're scared. And Abram got selfish when he was scared because he didn't know what was going to happen in Egypt. And so what he said instead was, "Say you're my sister, so that it may be well with me, so I can live, so I can get out of this situation, so I can escape, so I can survive." He said, "You do this, so I can do this." And I was wondering how he felt, and how he had meditated so long on these what if statements that they became truths to him. And that's why I really, really like how the Lord started verse 14, and it says, "So it was." He meditated so long on the negatives, on the what ifs, that verse 14 begins with, so it was. And I just feel like we need to sit on that for a second and just absorb that, and just see, like, when you shifted your mind and meditated on not things that are holy, just, pure, lovely, virtuous, praiseworthy, of good report. When you've meditated on the negative what ifs, God says, so it was. So what you choose to meditate on will always be made manifest in your life. If you choose to meditate on the what if this happens, what if this is terrible, what if this season is awful, what if we don't survive, so it was. And if you choose to press into your faith in God, if you choose to trust Him, because if we look later on, the Lord delivered them through plagues to Pharaoh. The Lord defended their relationship. Not only did He defend the relationship of Abram and Sarai, because I imagine that when she was taken into Pharaoh's house, he's got to be a little worried about his wife. For multiple reasons, he's got to be worried about his wife. But the Lord defended not only their relationship, but the Lord defended His relationship with Abram as well, in being faithful, not only to deliver him, but to continue to show Himself faithful even when we weren't. Even when we weren't faithful, the Lord proved to Abram, I made you a promise, I'm going to fulfill it. And it makes me think of 1 Peter 5 when it says, cast all your cares upon Him because He cares for you. He's literally watching over you, shepherding you day by day. And I just imagine Abram heading towards Egypt step by step by step by step. And he may not have taken the time to just cast his cares upon the Lord and say, God, this is what I'm stressed about. This is what I'm terrified about. And instead, he took matters into his own hands. And I think we do that when we're scared. I think we have a tendency to do that. I know I do, and I know that I can get selfish when I'm scared. And I think that's exactly what Abram did. But if we just take that moment to pause, to recognize ourselves in our distress and say, God, here's what I'm worried about. Here's what I'm stressed about. Here's what's going on in my heart, in my life. This is what I'm meditating on, God. I'm going to cast these upon you. Please help me, Holy Spirit, plant something different in my heart, something of you, God, in my heart, that I can trust you and walk faithfully in your promise. So I know that when I get to Egypt, I don't have to worry anymore. When I walk into this season, I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. You're defending my relationship. You're defending our relationship. You're defending your promise because you're a faithful God. And that's what this is. It's all about God and God's reaction to this, and how Abram shows his humanity and God still shows His sovereignty and His faithfulness. So I hope this blesses you guys. I just was meditating on this for a while this morning. Beautiful passage again, Genesis chapter 12. This is verses 10 through 14. I encourage you just to read through this and see what the Lord revealed to you. But I just pray this would bless you guys. God bless you.